I'm terrible at many things, but if there's one thing that I know really well, it's how to make money online. In the month of June, I was able to make $7,705. And I did this fully remote. I didn't clock into a single shift. All of this was done on my own timeline and my own accord. However, this isn't something that I built overnight. This is something I've been working on since 2022. And I've been doing this with less. I have not been the type of person where everything has just been given to me. I didn't have any mentors really telling me what to do. I've been through my fair share of hardships. And if there's one thing I can tell you, you don't need to buy a course to actually be successful. I don't have anything to sell you. I don't have a course. This video is completely free. This is a raw, unsolicited advice video on how to make money online from a 24-year-old who's married, who's living his dream life. So here's a step-by-step guide on how you can go about making online money if I had to do it all over again. I think most people don't even really understand how to go about making online money because there's so much terrible information online. The wrong way to go about this is to type in on YouTube how to make money online. And it's ironic because that's probably what you did to find this video. You might get good information from a lot of these videos, but there's always something being hidden from you, especially if they have a course in their bio. Train yourself to notice this whenever you watch a video. If someone's giving you a step-by-step guide on how to, for example, drop ship, even if it may seem like they're going through every single thing, there is likely something that is very important that they are leaving out from the equation. And that thing can only be found inside of their course. And usually those courses are thousands of dollars. It's the classic trope where if a lot of people want to learn how to dig a hole, don't actually teach them how to dig a hole, just sell the shovels. The real starting point that you should find yourself at is actually exploring what's within yourself. There are 3 questions that I typically run through that I'm going to run with you guys. And by the end of this video, hopefully you will know exactly what type of method of online money you should be pursuing that is best for you. The first question I want you to actually sit with is, what do you have the most of right now? Do you have time? Do you have money? Do you have a skill that people already pay for? That's the reality filter. And I call it this because it straight up kills every option that has a 0% chance of you actually starting and it working. And it does this before you waste a year of your life finding out the hard way. If what you have the most of right now is time and not much else, then you want an effort first lane. That's basically a service-based business. That's a skill you build with your hands and your hours. So something like content creation, learning to sell or close for somebody else. Anything you need to start this is already available to you for free. It just comes down to your commitment and you actually learning. If you have initiative, if you're able to comprehend and adjust and learn, this is almost where everyone starts. 80% of you should be starting here with a service-based lane. But I'm gonna be real with you, it's also the slowest payoff, and it lives and dies on how much you can actually put into this. And you're also going to be doing this for at least something close to free for a long time. And if that's not something you can stick with, then you're going to have a rough time starting this kind of business. Now, if you have money that you can afford to lose, but just don't know where to start, then you can look into lanes where money does most of the work for you. So for example, you can get into products, you can get into e-commerce, trading, that whole world. The upside there can be really big, but those take just as much skill as pretty much everything else. Don't let anybody tell you that this is an easy way to make money and money alone carries you, because it definitely doesn't. Now, if the thing you have right now is a weirdly specific skill set or an expertise that not many people know of, think being able to play guitar or something, or you know how to fix a problem that almost nobody else knows how to fix, you can sell the outcome, you can sell the knowledge to people who need it, you can do coaching, you can do consulting, or you can even sell the expertise as a digital product like a lot of these people doing in courses. There's a lot of stuff that I guarantee you think is worthless because it comes super easy to you, but it's exactly the thing somebody else will pay to learn. Now, the reason I'm spending so much time on this question, what do you have the most of, is because this is the filter that tells you whether the thing is even worth chasing to begin with. No matter which lane you pick, it's going to take a minimum of about 3 years to see meaningful results. And meaningful to me means somewhere around $2,000 to $3,000 a month. Let me put myself in it so you know I'm not just making this up. Like I had mentioned earlier, I make close to around $7,000 to $8,000 a month just editing YouTube videos. And I built that through strictly YouTube content creation. But back in the day, I started with my exact niche that I edit for professionally in 2022, making my own own content. And I did not break through in pretty much anything until late 2023. Before that, I was pulling maybe $100 a month. And in 2023, it was around $1,500 a month with a crazy workload. It wasn't until 2025 that I was actually making $4,000 or $5,000 a month where I can reliably say this is a career. This is something that I can do and I don't need to work a normal job. So when I tell you this stuff takes time, it really does. Sure, I had lazy days. Everybody does, but I was also a full-time student at this time and a college athlete. And basically every minute of my life I had that was free time, I was editing or trying to make content and get better at it. Ultimately, the reason I was able to become successful is because I did this for a long time for free, because I actually loved it. That's why personality fit and the type of person you are matters so much to this. On that note, the second most important question that you need to ask yourself after figuring out what your assets are right now, what you have the most of, is what kind of hardship can you properly handle? Because everybody has a type of pain that just destroys them and everybody handles it different. I can take rejection all day. I'll send out 2 billion emails and get ghosted by every single one and it barely phases me. But losing money, I can't do it. Like I can't gamble with my money. I can't stomach it. That's exactly why I'm not in e-commerce or in something that's product related, because I know I can't handle those losses at the current place of my life. And I'd also start to make emotional decisions and blow it up completely. So you have to be honest with yourself here. So let's run through this. If you can't take rejection, you need to stay away from anything sales related, anything where you're pitching one-on-one, anything where you're doing cold outreach or flipping, where you got to be in people's faces directly, because it'll probably eat you alive and you're not going to be able to handle it. You can get better at this stuff, but we're trying to be optimal here, trying to get you actually making online money. Now, if you can't take grinding for months at something with absolutely zero reward and very slow feedback loops, then service work and content are going to absolutely destroy you. Don't even bother, because that's the entire first stretch, like I told you from my own experience. Right now, I'm also in the thick of it when it comes to short form as well. This isn't just exclusive to YouTube. I have a TikTok and an Instagram page, each at around 30,000 followers that I've been building for the better part of 3 years. I've made probably close to $3,000 total over these 3 years. It's a grind. It takes a long time. Now, if you can't take losing money or living with the uncertainty of not knowing if your money is going to come back to you, then products and e-commerce is definitely not your lane. Top of needing a lot of time, you also need to be able to make very clear decisions disconnected from your emotional side, because the second you start making emotional decisions, you're more than likely going to make bad decisions and you're going to lose money. And if you can't handle that, trust me, bro, I've seen some people get destroyed by this. And listen, you're probably going to be bad at one or two of these things. Like you might not handle rejection well. You also might not be able to wait for a long time, but you're also going to be fine at others. This was never a one size fits all. This wasn't that you are only going to have one of these problems or be good at one of these things. Personality fit matters more than anything, and actually looking at what you have in front of you and putting it together in a puzzle piece is what makes this experience truly something magnificent and worth pursuing. I think you should always start with your personality and where your qualities actually fit into any market or any business or any endeavor you want to do. You should start with your personality, look at what you can handle and what you can't. Then look at what you're holding, like what assets do you have? You have money but no direction. Do you have direction but no money? Do you have a skill? Are you not that talented yet but you want it bad? You take the whole equation, you take it apart from the inside, and I guarantee you, if you actually dig into your own life, the things you like, the things you keep coming back to, and the things that resonated with you in your childhood, you'll find something in there that makes you a little bit unique. And that's how you make online money, because what works for me is not going to work for you. I've got a couple talents you might not have, and you've got talents and assets in your life that I will never have. That part's on you to actually go and find. Start being honest about the answers instead of picking whatever looked shiny on your feed this week and just thinking that if you spend money on courses, you will magically get a solution. At the end of the day, it takes time, effort, and a lot of work, and that's the truth. I know it probably feels like everyone already has this figured out and you're behind, but 3 years from now, you're either going to be 3 years into something real or 3 years older having started nothing. And one of those versions of you is way happier. So go do the boring homework on yourself this week. If you know somebody who's stuck spinning on this same exact thing as you, drop this in front of them, send this video to them, or even just drop it in the comments down below if you're this person. Anyways, that's it for this one. Peace out, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.